It's not enough to have a great looking website. You need to make sure it is designed with your customers in mind. Derek Reed is the founder and principal designer at Reed Design Group, and he joins us in the studio tonight. Derek, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we appreciate your time. Tell us your story, how you got into the web design and print media.
Well, I got into web design and print media, like it was over 15 years ago. And it started out where I met a actual bank teller. And the funny thing is, he was actually looking to build his, I guess, a side hustle or what have you. But he just didn't know how to develop a site on his own. So I just kind of took it upon myself to kind of help him out, show him a few pointers, and then it just really took off for him because he basically developed a directory website for kids. It's kind of like if you think of developing a directory that sells shoes, clothes, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it took off for him. So it got to the point where he just kind of quit his job and focused on it full time.
That's awesome. And you were able to help him.
Yes.
By building that website. You know, we talk about websites. We know businesses need website, all of those things. But what are key components to a good website?
Well, the really good key components would involve having obviously a great layout, great branding. Everything has to be kind of cohesive, and it has to look professional, because a lot of times most business owners just kind of go into that mode of thinking that they can do things on their own and run their business at the same time. So my job is to help them kind of take that off their plate and focus on developing a site that really shows as an extension for their brand. And it fits not only from a website perspective, but a social media perspective, where they want to have signage for their brick and mortar.
Sure.
We can develop that as well.
That's awesome.
So it's just an overall holistic approach to developing a project for them.
Well, I think, Derek, what you said is so key there, that like if you're in the business of creating a widget, that's your specialty.
Right.
Hire Derek to do the website. That's his specialty. But you're right. So many business owners are like, oh, I've got this, or I've got my 18-year-old niece. She'll do it for me. Right. And it doesn't look great. How often, because this is a debate I hear all the time, how often should a business update their website? I mean, if you think about it, we update our building, we paint the building, we put in new carpet every so many years. How often should we be updating our website? Well,
I mean, it really, one, depends on the industry. Two, it does matter how often you update it, because sometimes you have to look at it as a brick and mortar. So say, for example, you know, you had a site for the last 5 years and it looks the same, but it gets to the point where people will kind of feel like, oh, it's starting to look stagnant. So I would say maybe 2 to 3 years on average. But here's the other thing Google looks for more specifically is that you're constantly making updates. So if you have a blog or you don't have one, it'd be a good idea to, you know, upgrade to include a blog into your site, because Google looks to see for fresh content, fresh information, and something that keeps people engaged as far as coming to the site. So that's kind of another piece that we look at as well. We design these sites to make users engaged, or help them become more engaged into your business, which is another piece of, we try to ask those fact-finding questions with customers and make sure that their vision gets told online digitally.
That makes sense. No, that makes, I want to put your website up, by the way.
Okay.
And it's redesigned, but I love how you did this. It's reedesignweb.com. So redesign web. I love the play on words there.
There you go.
Redesignweb.com. Very smart. Is it fair to say that someone's website really is the first impression for a business now?
Yeah, it really is. The days of the brick and mortar are I wouldn't say going to the wayside, but you have over 50% of your consumers already looking online, whether they're just doing a browsing or they're actually making their purchase. 9 times out of 10 at this point, they're going to start online before they go to a brick and mortar, because they want to see the reviews. They want to see things that they normally wouldn't find in the store. So if they hear more positive things about it, they'll be more likely to either do more research online, or once they've made their mind up, they're going to go to the store finally to make that purchase.
Yeah, no, we see the studies after study after study of people, even if you advertise, I see your commercial on television.
Yep.
I'm still going to your website before I make an appearance. So, so what is your approach? Walk us through. So if I'm a client or a prospect and I sit down with you, what's the first thing you're asking me before we get into design?
Well, I'd like to know about you, and specifically because that helps me connect with your business. And I need to know about how your business is currently running, what your current pain points that you're having. And we try to figure out, okay, well, this is where you're at currently as far as your site, your business, everything. Like I said, we take a holistic approach because we want to take all of that information and convert it into something that actually tells a story for your brand.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
And how much is it important for it to be mobile friendly too? Don't most people look at websites on their phones?
Yes, yes. I would say over 70% look through their phones first before they look on a computer because everybody's on the go. So our sites are inherently mobile friendly. We develop everything off WordPress primarily. As far as the content, we try to keep things uniform so you have the same experience whether you're looking at it from a phone or you're looking on a TV. Some people still use TVs for their monitors.
Right, sure.
As well as, laptops and computers. So the experience is uniform all around.
Makes sense, makes sense. All right, well, we're headed into 2023.
Right.
What does business look like for you as you look toward the new year? What are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited about the new entrepreneurs that are coming out. And they have either a story to tell or the business to grow. RDG wants to be there to help them grow. So we're very excited for 2023.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, it's so key to have a website and to have one, as we mentioned at the start, that doesn't just look great, but is functional. Because nothing frustrates the client more than that dreaded 404 code.
Exactly.
So Derek, appreciate you coming in. I want to give your website again. Again, it's Redesign with 2 E's because we're Derek Reed, REE designweb.com. And this is where you can go to find out more information. If your website hasn't been updated, or as Derek mentioned, if you're not constantly putting fresh content on there, that means the Google algorithms are not discovering your website and people can't find you and you're losing potential business. Well worth the investment. Stick around. This is Create, Build, and Manage Daily.